Agentforce prompts, templates, topics, agents. There are so many different things to understand about the Agentforce platform on Salesforce. I'm going to help you decode all of these in today's episode so that you can speak intelligently about Salesforce's Agentforce. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Salesforce for Recruiters. I'm your host, Brad Owens, and I was just like you. I was a recruiter for well over a decade using various pieces of technology that never really fit what I wish they could do for me. And then I saw Salesforce, and I went, where has this been all my life? And since then, I've dedicated my career to helping both Salesforce and the recruiting industry understand how this platform can actually be used for what we do every day. And on today's episode, I want to talk a little bit more about the pieces and parts and structure of Agentforce by Salesforce. So Agentforce has come out with all of these new press releases. Look at all these amazing things you can do. It's incredible. But what I've noticed is among recruiting firms, no one knows how to speak about the pieces and parts intelligently enough to have enough of a conversation to realize the impact this can have on their business. Yes, at a high level, great, AI is going to do amazing things for our business, but what are the parts we can actually use and what do we need to pay attention to understand what we're buying? Agentforce is great. It's hype. It's incredible. The marketing around it is just impeccable. But breaking through that, let's talk about the actual pieces that you're buying and things you can put together and assemble so that you can have the Agentforce incredible AI agents of your dreams. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down from kind of the tiniest little pieces all the way through the bigger parts that make up all of Agentforce. So to start with, let's talk about prompt templates. Now, a prompt in AI world is when you're typing into, let's just use, for instance, ChatGPT. You're typing something in as a user. You're saying, write me an email that does this, and you're entering in whatever this is. That's a prompt that you're typing into ChatGPT. Now, in Agentforce, they have what's called prompt templates. So think about that prompt we just talked about, the write me an email about this. So a prompt template would give you, baked in, write me an email about, and then it's just blank. Well, what do you want it to write an email about? So with a prompt template inside of Salesforce, now breaking this down to be very, very basics here, so just follow along with me. A prompt template inside of Salesforce for Agentforce gives you the ability to say, write me an email about, and then insert something in there. And that placeholder right there is your template. So when you're implementing this prompt in your business, you can insert whatever that piece is. So in your emails that you're writing every day and some that you get from spammers, you probably get hi name, right? It gave you a placeholder that they didn't use to insert your name and it just says hi name. So in a prompt template inside of Salesforce, you're essentially just taking that name field and making it auto insert that name. I understand this is super, super basic. This is truly not what this is capable of. It's capable of so much more. But I want to give you an understanding of what a prompt template really is. So it's giving you the structure of a thing to ask the Agentforce agent, but it's giving you some amount of variability to that prompt so that you can take the data that's in your CRM, pump that into the same prompt so that it's actually giving you a relevant response or a relevant email or a relevant action inside of Salesforce. It can do a bunch of things, but a prompt template gives you that placeholder to insert your own data so that you can get the reaction or the results that you want. Now, next up in our journey of Agentforce 101 vocabulary is actions. Now, actions inside of Agentforce just give you the ability to do a particular task or a process that's inside of your Salesforce environment or outside. Now, an action is just a pre-packaged steps that you should be able to take to execute that task or that process. So it's telling the agent that if all of these things come up, here's the entire action that you should be taking. So it's giving it that blueprint of what to actually do. Now, that action could be called by some prompt that a user generates. It could be called by some sort of process workflow that's inside of your Salesforce environment, or it could be done by something that someone triggers when they're chatting with your agent. So it could be anything from schedule this interview to send this email or run this background check. You know, all of these different types of things that could take multiple steps. They could be actions inside of Agentforce. So that gives you the ability to actually do something with the AI. It's the actions that they can take. Next up in our Agentforce Vocabulary 101, we need to cover off on topics. Now, topics are just a logical grouping of actions that you can take with your agents inside of Agentforce. So for topics, let's think about candidate engagement. Now, how many different things can you do to engage a candidate? You can send a text message, you can send an email, you can schedule an interview, you can interact with maybe your calendar or something like that. Now, all of those particular actions can be grouped logically under the topic of candidate engagement. Now, you could also have a topic for candidate onboarding. Now, inside of candidate onboarding, you can use some of those same actions that were in that topic before, like send an email, send a text, but all of these are now logically grouped into the onboarding type of topic. So you also give it the ability to run a background check, schedule a drug screen, send out this particular set of paperwork. So now you have a new topic around onboarding. So you can have multiple different types of topics that can all encompass different actions or maybe some of the same actions. But a topic just allows you to make sure that your agent is working within the right context of actions for that particular use case. So that's a topic inside of Agentforce. Next up, we need to cover off on the Atlas reasoning engine. So far, we've been talking about the pieces that kind of make up an agent. So we have our prompts that it can call to actually do things. We have the actions that it can call from those prompts to help it to work with data either in Salesforce or outside of it. And then we have topics, which are those logical groups. So how does an agent actually know what to do? Well, the Atlas reasoning engine, which is built inside of Salesforce's Agentforce platform, gives your agents the ability to reason through, okay, here is what this user said, or here is the situation. Now, given this particular situation, which topic are they maybe talking about? And inside of that topic, which actions do I maybe need to take? And because of that, which prompts should I be calling that will help me to do this actual work? So the Atlas reasoning engine inside of Salesforce allows these agents to think and reason through these topics and actions so that it takes the right action at the right time, given the right prompt. So you can see how all of these are starting to be interweaved together. So finally then, inside of Agentforce, how do we wrap all of this stuff together and give one particular agent a set of these skills that we're giving it, or these topics, or these prompts, or anything else, and give it the ability to reason? Well, we do that by wrapping it in an agent template. So an agent template, you can kind of think as an employee, a particular employee that has a particular set of skills, right? So an agent template gives you that wrapper for all of this. So you could have a recruiter agent, or you could have a coordinating agent, or you can have an onboarding agent, or a scheduling agent, and you can start breaking these down to particular agents that have the ability to take these topics or take these actions and start working for your organization. Now, the beauty of the Salesforce ecosystem is that you don't have to be beholden just to what comes with Salesforce. You could go out and grab any sort of third-party related agent things from this new agent exchange. So you can go out and get topics. You can go out and get prompt templates. You can go out and get actions. You can go out and get agent templates. And all this exists in that agent exchange from Salesforce. So you can check out vendors like Assemble, asymbl.com, to find these predefined things that you can just plug into your environment. So it gives you the ability to take advantage of all these different Agentforce features without having to design them yourself. So the intention of this episode was to help you understand what all these little pieces are and what might be available out there on the agent exchange for you to go get, plug into your environment, and start using today. But without this understanding of what these pieces are, what the actions are, what the topics are, what the prompt templates are, you don't really know what you're looking for. So I wanted to bring some clarity to that so that you understand all these bits and pieces of what makes Agentforce Agentforce. So with that, I will turn you loose. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Salesforce for Recruiters. If you like this kind of content, there's plenty more. It's at salesforceforrecruiters.com. I want to see you there. And I want to thank you for making it this far into the episode. And because you did, I want to give you a special offer. If you email me to hello@bradowens.com, I will respond to your question with a new episode. I'm happy to answer it. And I also do Q&A episodes if I get enough built up questions where I'll answer your question directly on the podcast. So email me hello@bradowens.com. Until next time, I want to thank you again for making it this far in the episode. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.